Ukrainians, they made that death list that Jimmy's on, and I don't want to be on it. Imagine paying taxes and you funded the Ukrainian death list that killed you. Jesus.
Hey, Kurt, by the way, Martin Novak is the guy who Epstein messaged him and said, "Did you torture her?" That was the email.
Oh.
He's a professor, Harvard.
Well, there'll be no charges. All the physicists, all of them.
He claims he was playing a game called Civilization, I think. I saw him respond to that.
That's easy enough to check. Epstein was a big gamer. Okay.
Because Martin said, our spy was captured after completing her mission, and Epstein responded, "Did you torture her?" And according to him, they were playing a video game.
They might be. That sounds like a line from that game. Maybe.
Well, it's also 2014, so also, the guy is already convicted.
I was playing before that. It could be that, 100%. Look, the point is, there probably is the game, but they go to parties where they do this for real, so it's probably a lot of fun. Like how gangsters like playing Grand Theft Auto, right? Okay. Hey, this game's fun. Blair White, you will call her weird Rosicrucian left-hand path psychopath grandmother, kept wanting her to learn the lore of Diablo 2. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's such a weird thing, and I remember the lore of it. It was about Nephilim, so that's why.
That torture thing might be real. I don't know. All I know is,
You already know PB sends him torture videos from hot off the IDF presses, where they guys got the thing a boy in prison.
Hold up. Quick pause. This is one of those classic Kurt jumps where if you're not already following his train of thought, it can sound wild. Just stay with it for a second.
You know what they do. Oh, and a lot of IDF are committing slip inside now. Okay. Why are they doing it? Well, I think because they Hannibal directive their own people that day, and they probably feel terrible about it. One point he made that I think about a lot is he goes, I never understood why people have to try to shoot the president. Like, he's only there for 4 years or 8 years. Why would you?
That's a good point.
He wasn't even like, it wasn't a slam on America. It was just a valid point. Yeah, you wouldn't have to. No one would have to. And I don't think anyone ever has on their own. I think only rich people doing these tricks get, just like if you're in prison in Oz, remember the guy had a gun, but you can't shoot a gun in prison. So you have to give it to another guy, right? He had to do an RFK assassination using a French guy who was getting picked on because he was smart enough to know he can't pull the trigger. It's a real simple concept. I don't think a single person who shot at a president just did that on their own because they wanted to impress Jodie Foster, or I don't believe any of that. They do hypnotic induction. This is old shit. It's been around forever. They've done it to you your whole life, by the way. Why do you think it's far-fetched? So these files dropped, right? And they're going to mount their cover-up. Because they're going to mount to nothing, legally anyway. And most of the people are going to go watch whatever. I'm sorry to pick on football. I'm really like, I don't know why I'm harping on that. I don't like.
You should be picking on golf. That's where they're burying all these girls at 19th hole, Trump National.
Is that right?
That said, reportedly Trump, warned a girl that he would turn her into fertilizer like all the others if she didn't keep her mouth shut. This is an FBI tip. This is an FBI report.
Well, that's one of the tips. Well, maybe he was just threatening her and they weren't going to do that.
What he's reacting to is a document that's been circulating, and people land very differently on it depending on how much background they have. I'm not here to tell you what to think, just flagging why this part hits hard for some people.
Maybe just threatened him.
Maybe he was all bark, no bite.
Okay. Yo, dude, I should have done this one first. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is from Red Panda Koala. My bad, Red Panda Koala.
This is the FBI report, Kurt. You want me to share it real quick?
Yeah, please.
Okay, here we go. Sharing. So it's delayed on my end when I share the screen. Hold on. Right here. Okay, tell me if that's coming up. Yep, there it is. You see that, Kurt?
It's hard for me to read. You read it, so I can't. It's like too small.
So Trump funded underage sex parties at the Donald Trump golf course, and allegedly a young girl was strangled and buried at the golf course's 19th hole. This is an FBI report from 2021. Was recently interviewed by an FBI agent. Is redacted. However, he felt triggered as a victim and did not report all the information. Had recordings of Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell discussing marketing strategies for high-profile sex parties at the Donald Trump golf course. However, mailed the recordings to a lawyer in the Cayman Islands. Blank was part of the Sinaloa cartel and worked closely with Epstein and Maxwell. However, he was able to walk away from the cartel due to his status with Epstein and Maxwell. In the recordings, Trump stated he was aware of the underage sex parties and charged the house money of the golf course to fund the sex parties.
This is where things start to get tricky due to selective enforcement, but I will say this could be blending speculation, documents, and personal interpretation. Kurt's clearly reading this as part of a much bigger pattern. Whether you agree or not, that's the lens he's using here. Let's keep going.
Bill Gates, everybody that's saying, "Oh, we didn't," they're completely full of shit.
Peter Thiel, Templar, by the way, a Templar, supposedly. That's what he's esoteric Christian. That's why he gives those revelation talks that don't make any sense, because a Templar. They're serpent worship. The Templars are not good. They were never good. If you see that Timothy Hogan guy go around,
no.
He's on all the podcasts. I've never met him. Maybe he's a nice guy if you meet him. If you think that guy's a grandmaster of the Templars and didn't engage in this kind of shit, you're out of your mind. If he is who he says he is. If he's not, then I don't know.
It says, from Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Thiel, 2016, return to tribalism, counter to globalization, amazing new alliances. You and I both agreed zero interest rates were too high. And as I said in your office, finding things on their way to collapse was much easier than finding the next bargain.
Yeah, this was all in Ayn Rand. This is all in that Atlas Shrugged book, where John Galt, a.k.a. Edmund de Rothschild, who that bitch dated, that stupid bitch Ayn Rand that people think is good, but she's a piece of shit Illuminati who dated a Rothschild. And in that book, the oligarchs go to an island called Atlantis, right? And they blow up the infrastructure, and the wings fall off the planes, and the things that are happening now. They're doing it now. So that's what that's about. They're all on the same side. Yeah, no, they kill each other and they poison each other and they do Game of Thrones shit. But you're something for them to eat or sexually assault and throw away or use as a toy soldier in a war that makes them rich.
Let me jump in real quick. This is one of those moments where his frustration becomes a flurry of blunt language. It shows how strongly he feels about the imbalance he's talking about, even if the way it's said isn't for everyone. Let's keep going.
People hate when I bring this up, by the way, on stage. I don't understand. They all shut down when I say this. We haven't won a war in 80 years.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you have a military-industrial complex and then never win a war ever the fuck again?
We've never installed a democracy anywhere. As soon as we leave, it goes back to whatever they were, doing. From Vietnam to Afghanistan, name it. It's all fake. And I think in these Epstein...
wait, R.A. texted me he came on with Gary Wade, and he goes, Timothy Hogan drinks AIDS for breakfast. That is exactly what I was getting at, dude.
Drinks AIDS for breakfast.
He's got these bags under his eyes where I'm like, this guy chain smokes, because he goes, I've been in the order since I was 8. So do I got to draw you a picture what the that means? I don't think I do. Will you put it back on that thing, Ben? I'm sorry. I got interrupted by R.A.
You want me to share? By the way, look at this. Let me share this. Hold on. Because I forgot how much they used to really, really... I mean, they had the world by the balls, man. When they were getting people debanked and Alex Jones thrown off, right?
Yeah, it's all play.
Remember this in The Atlantic?
Put it up there so I can see.
Can you not see it?
No. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing's a play. It's like wrestling.
Oh, there it goes. It's delayed.
Yeah. Oh, well, it only took one chick to write this with 2 first names by Caitlin Tiffany. Caitlin Tiffany, are you of the Tiffany's? I mean, talk about a name of boarding school. Talk about the name of a girl who was without a doubt molested by a parent and then zapped with a taser to forget. Am I right? I mean, come on. I want to know who Caitlin Tiffany is. Yeah, the sex thing that wasn't. How about Michael Tracy, that little butterball? How about that little fucker?
If this feels like it's spiraling, that's kind of the point. He's stacking example on top of example to argue that none of this exists in isolation.
You know who that is, right?
Michael Tracy. Dude, Michael Tracy. Is he gone missing, by the way? We need to have a eulogy for him or something.
Oh, how about that worthless Ben Shapiro, that Chabad traitorous intel Ben Shapiro, who's here to do disinfo for Chabad. He's a Lubavitcher. You know that scumbag Schneerson that the Lubavitchers worship as the Messiah, these scum? He was a piece of shit. And that's the faction that killed Yitzhak Rabin. Like how the IRA has Sinn Féin, right? Although the IRA, you could argue, hey, they had reasons to be blowing shit up. You could argue if you wanted, if you're Irish. I'm sure you do want to argue that. People don't understand on the face. Being on Jimmy's show traumatizes me every other day. 3 days a week, instead of going to the meetings of Jehovah's Witnesses, I watch the actual news, and then I have PTSD, and I go do a spot, and I try to tell people this shit, and they were like, what? And I'm crazy now, and now I'm crazy. Because it's so traumatic.
There's no other way to be. If you believe the main narrative, you're more crazy.
Okay.
And if you see through it, you're diabolical crazy, but at least you're in control.
Well, I'm just going to always try to tell the truth as best as I can. Okay. Now, all people are liars. Like, if I'm late, I'm going to give you a lot of lies about that I'm almost there. And no, I didn't just, my car didn't cancel. I was late, but I'm going to lie to you that but okay. But
Whether you take this literally, symbolically, or just as commentary on power systems, this is where Kurt's core concern keeps landing: participation and consent.
here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to start any more wars and then kidnap the president of Venezuela and then I'm not going to do that kind of shit. So stop consenting. Don't send your kids to war. Don't get a booster. Don't wear the mask. Go to jail. Don't hit your gas and get upset because protesting, Chris Hedges said this, and I really think he's right on Jimmy's show. He goes, it's not supposed to be catharsis.
Right.
You're supposed to get things done.
Yeah.
So what they've done since and you see it from the 60s, they've reduced anti-war protesters didn't dress like smelly idiots. Okay? It was appropriated.
Yeah.
They made them into disgusting people so that we'd never have this question of if you should go die in a war again for no reason. It should be very obvious to everyone, but it's not. And the next generation of lunkheads are going to go and get Pat Tillman, I guess in Greenland. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but stop, participate, be a Jehovah's Witness. Don't change Jehovah's Witness, but go in the hallway and eat some crackers. Stop being part of it. You don't have to hurt anyone. And they're going to accuse you of like murder for that and probably kill you. But I know that can work because they're terrified of it. And they're only going to, Patrice used to say it, my friend Patrice, he's dead now, but he had a joke about it. It's like, Malcolm X was cool until he said we could all get along, then he's got to go. Right?
Right. Exactly.
The people that say we don't have to be at war have to go. So that's how you know. So that's why I say I don't know if the story I don't know which parts are true or not. How could I know that? I know that someone doesn't want me to follow the aspects of it that I think are the good aspects of it. So I'm just going to do that,
Last pause before we finish this out. I don't show these clips because I have all the answers. I do this because they raise questions many people aren't willing to think about and don't even get exposed to anymore. Beyond platform barriers, you can see even those like Joe Rogan, who shouldn't have to worry about what they say, have had many sus moments recently when guests bring up certain topics, and the language he uses around the file drops in particular is suspect as well. But I think most people seeing this know Joe Rogan has been compromised for a while. Let's keep going.
That's what I found too. That's where I end up because I feel like, do I need to get in the weeds with doctrine? Do I need to, I'm watching Mike Huckabee saying, no, you need to support Israel because this doctrine.
No, he's not a Christian.
No,
Mike Huckabee is not a Christian. No one that you've seen on the faith leaders. Trump had a meeting of faith leaders. What in the hell does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
So I guess what I want to do,
Crypto?
what I'm spending my time is like, okay, I want to understand this Schofield bit. I want to understand the Darby that comes behind it. I want to understand why, who's controlling who.
Zionists control that, the Lotus Club.
Yes. And that makes me feel better. And what I think is left when I strip it all away is, you're right, is God and certain and various like values, personal values that are left from the Christian Bible that are also in other Bibles too, that are also in the, other people's religion. If it works for you, I love it. That's how I feel about it. But don't give power to global systems.
If you're trying to do
that's
conquest,
all I'm left with.
Yeah, and it's a real, your thoughts. See, people could go, oh, there's nothing I can do. They wouldn't be trying to control your very thoughts if there was nothing you could do. You literally just don't have to think stupid cow thoughts and you're hurting the system.
Yeah.
I've always struggled with this world and the systems I was forced into, and for a long time I've hoped that something could change for the better, and I still do. I've heard the saying that truth will set you free, but the more I realize it's out there and we keep getting more of it, I really wonder if it will. And what good normal person is going to try and change the system from within without a billionaire backer or some bullshit PDF file occult worshipping narcissistic cannibal cult trying to have power over everything? It's going to take all of us seeing through the charade at the same time and doing something about it. People could literally decide, like, hey, we don't give a fuck about these people anymore. They just have to stop participating and realize there's people that have done everything to extract as much wealth from the common man as possible. ensuring they remain cogs in the machine until the real machines are here to replace us and they can focus on uploading their consciousnesses so they can be what they think is immortal. And I know this is more than I usually say, and just for the sake of it, maybe this is speculative or I'm wrong or I didn't quite finish that thought, but I'm saying, man, we shouldn't be fighting each other if what we care about is a better world. We should be looking upward and organizing, because the distraction, the headline of the week in your echo chamber that's going to rotate and mean nothing, that everyone you talk to is aware of and reinforces your confidence like you're in the know of current events, but at the same time, billions of dollars that should have helped Americans is funneled elsewhere, and the main concerns most people had at the elections were brushed off, like the H-1B issue. And I'm not saying I support the bullshit with ICE, but look, y'all, we done been lied to, and Tim Dillon's most recent podcast was interesting about Hillary throwing her head in the fryer to destroy Trump because it's the last thing she can do. Sorry for the lack of context there, but that's a good podcast you should check out. All I'm saying is, you see anyone playing defense for these people, be suspicious. And if this content stuck with you at all, you're probably who I'm making this for. Thank you for watching all the way to the end.